Hey, howdy, friends. It's Steve DePoe here with the Rose Realty Team with this week's real estate vlog for North Texas. Hey, today, the 5 must-do activities in Fort Worth. I love Fort Worth. Fort Worth is this charm between sort of modern America, you may want to call it, and the Old West. As a matter of fact, one of the nicknames or slogans of Fort Worth is "Where the West Begins." Okay, and so Fort Worth is a great place to go and hang out. It's got a lot of activities and things we'll talk about. But it's really a it's really a great area. It's probably beside my home my present home. It's the city or the area that I like to go to the most. Fort Worth Stockyards. Now, so Fort Worth Stockyards again is this Old West kind of stockyard kind of feel. They do cattle drives on a daily basis. They got historic buildings around, and there's always live country music. Okay, now that's the thing that the historic buildings is what I really love, because it's this blend of old world West, you may want to call it, and then the new modern West or new modern architecture, like you can see behind me over here, right, with the buildings and the glass and all that kind of stuff. But that's the old world sort of architecture and buildings is really cool. We've got some here in Denton as well, but that's the thing I really like about Fort Worth. Before we get started, or go any further, maybe you could do us a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's www.youtube.com/@Moving.to.Dallas. If you could like and subscribe to our channel, we really appreciate that. That gives us, more likes and more subscribers and more views, and then YouTube and Google treat us a little bit better. So we really thank you, and I really appreciate you for doing that. So go on to the next one. What is it? The Kimbell Art Museum. So this is, I just kind of said this, right? It's the blending of the old world and the architecture, and then the new modern kind of stuff, right? So the Kimbell Art Museum is a fantastic art museum. It's got 200 or so. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. It's got 50. I think it's 50 exhibits that they actually own themselves. Plus, they have this rotating traveling exhibits between other museums in the world. Okay, so it's that famous. I think a couple of years ago we saw it was like this King Tut exhibit, and then we saw this other one that was really interesting. Like, I didn't really think I was going to like it. I wasn't that jazzed about it, but it was like dresses of the 18th century or something like that. Rose really loved it. We took another couple, so I had a buffer there. But anyway, it was really kind of neat. And the stuff that they have there is really awesome. If you become a member, something like $200 a year or something, you get invited to the member exhibits and member events, which is usually like the first week of the showing of a new exhibit, and that's always kind of neat, because it's fewer crowds and that kind of stuff. So it's really sort of a neat thing. Hey, the Fort Worth Zoo. You can't come to Fort Worth without going to the Fort Worth Zoo. It's rated among the top zoos in the country, right? It's got like 7,000 animals or something like that. Everything from a wide variety of standard animals like elephants and rhinoceroses and all that kind of stuff to some variety of exotic species. Really have to go there. Held a couple of events there. It was invited to a couple of events there. Really neat kind of thing to do. Sundance Square. Now Sundance Square is located in downtown Dallas and downtown Fort Worth. It's like this 35 block area. It's got boutiques, and it's got restaurants and art galleries and live music. And it's one of the big reasons why you go to Fort Worth is to go to Sundance Square. Sundance Square back in, I don't remember when it was. I guess I'm going to say 15 years ago, when when Pittsburgh played Green Bay in the Super Bowl, and they had it here at Jerry's World. The Fort Worth is where they featured the Green Bay Packers. So naturally, my wife Rose being a Green Bay Packer fan, we had to go down there to Fort Worth. And they had, I think they were taping like ESPN there or something like that. So it was really kind of a neat thing. It's a little chilly. We had an ice storm that week. But Sundance Square, great place. And you'll notice something here about the last, the three things I mentioned, right? We talked about Denton, Dallas, and Fort Worth, and they all have this sort of venue, this area. In Denton, it was the square, and in Dallas, it was the Bishop Art Center, where there's boutiques and unique dining experiences and that kind of stuff. So you can kind of see Fort Worth has its own Sundance Square. They also have a lot of fantastic restaurants, to be honest with you. I mean, there's this one corner where I think there's like 4 of the top steakhouses, in the country at that corner. If you don't like this one, you can go across the street, type of thing. Very, very, very wild, very neat. And then the Botanic Gardens. So the Botanic Gardens in Fort Worth has like 110 acres. It's the oldest botanic garden in Texas, which is kind of neat. It's got some different sections. Like there's a Japanese garden part, a rose garden, and a rainforest conservatory. Very neat. Again, it's like you're in the middle of the city. Okay, it's like Times Square. You're in the middle of the city, but then there's this garden area there. It's 110 acres, and you go there and enjoy and relax and walk around. It's awesome. It's awesome. So that's one of your must-see things when you come to Fort Worth. So each of these attractions offers a unique glimpse of culture, history, and beauty of Fort Worth. Like I said, it's this diverse kind of modern architecture and in these old world kind of buildings. And it's because of this sort of diversity, it's a must stop. On your tour, if you're driving through, make sure you stop in Fort Worth. But if you're here for a period of time, a week or something, Fort Worth is definitely one of the places you have to go stop off and see. Hey, and if you're looking for houses, give me a call. That's Fort Worth. Hey, next week we're going to talk about what I'm calling the 5 hidden gems of Fort Worth. So there's obviously the Botanic Gardens, which is big, etc. But what are some of the things that that the tourists don't necessarily, or newcomers don't necessarily see and hear about, etc. Things that you can do, things that you can experience with your family. This is Steve. I am with the Rose Realty Team. I'm out.